Hello, welcome to part 6 of the Prison Architect Beginner's Guide. In this episode, we're going to be focusing more on money than on just building the prison. At the moment, we've got 7 prisoners available, or 7 cells available, and we've got 22 coming in. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just hang out for now. We'll go ahead and close that out. And now in this one, the way that we're going to be making money is through the workshop mostly. So workshop needs a saw and a press as well as a table. So we'll go ahead and set this up. We're going to put it right here with the common room next to the solitary. Doesn't need a whole lot of room, but the more you have, the more you can do. So when they manage to get over there, that'll help out. And also, we're gonna do a laundry room. Laundry room's actually pretty important as well because, well, your prisoners need clean clothes. Apparently, I can't open that door. Alright, so this one, I think we'll set the laundromat. We're actually gonna put it right here under the shower. This way, once we manage to build up here, we'll have a nice flow through for the prisoners and the staff and everything, so they can just go straight over here instead of having to walk all the way around to get to the different blocks. And I decided to put some lights in right here because it's getting pretty dark. So once the workers manage to get all of this installed, we'll be able to get some more light in there. Anytime now. Alright. Workers were all stuck over there in the little walkabout. Okay, so it looks as though that is complete. Now again, this one is also a public room, so we'll put a door right there to open it up. We got an OD. Got an OD. Who was it? That guy? Alright, get the doctor over to him. Go quick, go quick, go quick! Doctor left. Don't die on me! Don't die on me! Okay. He's good. Now we'll go ahead and set this as the workshop. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so workshop saw and workshop press. And just so I don't have to make a million miles of power lines, I'm gonna put the saw and the press pretty close to that. And then it needs a table. Now, a pretty handy thing, the 2 of them do need a power connection. We're gonna put the cable right there, and since the entire object of it is basically one big cable line, you only have to connect them with one extra cable right there. And now notice, this is the key factor for it. The workers will always put the put the stacks of logs in the workshop because that's actually what they're for. The workers are going to come in here and they're going to install those, and then once we have this all the way set up, we'll be able to put it into programs, and we can actually get workers to start training it to work in here, and they'll actually be able to turn that into processed wood, and then you can actually sell that and make a lot of money through it. Now that that is complete, we're still waiting on the cable lines. And you see him just walk through the wall. That's actually kind of funny sometimes. Alright, so that's done, and we run out of power, so we'll come back over to our utilities. We'll install another capacitor. Matter of fact, we'll just put 2 there. And you notice that there is a rhyme and a reason to why I put this here, because we can actually put the capacitors all the way around it. And I've toyed with it, and I've tried to put a ton of different capacitors onto it, but putting more than just the outline of it won't actually make a difference. Alright, so we've got our power back up, and power's sitting at about half. Pretty good on that part. Now, to actually get the people to start working in there, you have to go into the workshop safety induction, and we'll get that started up there. We only have 2 tables, but there's 6 interested. So we'll go ahead and bring this in here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and set these up, 'cause each one can let 1 prisoner work in it. Hopefully the 1 table will be enough. They can actually walk through the object, so that much is good. The table, extra table, we'll put it right there, sounds good. Now, the workshop safety induction, that's going to be done by the foreman. Foreman's going to have to take a little bit of a walk in order to get there, but for now, we'll just open him up with a staff door. And one thing to make sure you do in this particular case, so that the prisoners don't walk through here, we're gonna set the foreman's office as staff only, as well as these other rooms, so the prisoners don't get any fancy ideas. Eventually we'll have that sealed off so we don't have to worry about it. Once again, now one thing to keep in mind if you're trying to conserve money, you want to make sure that you're putting in the least amount possible. So you've got 3, you could come over here and connect that with 2, but really you only need to connect it with 1 right there. You can see that it's already got its power cable. So once they install those, the rest of those will be ready to go. Now I'm actually gonna stop the workshop. We've got 8 interested, and now we've got 5 different prisoners, and you can see when you hover over it, it'll actually show you which ones are going to be in it. Now another thing is to look at the logistics. With prison labor, you've got this over here, and you can actually click on the sections, and that'll put the prisoners in there. Unfortunately, you can only go with the max jobs, so no matter how many times I click, it's not going to go past 5. Now for the shower, again, this is a public room, so we'll put a door right there, and that's going to be our laundromat when and if we get a door installed. Working position cannot be reached. Alright. Killer. Alright, so he dismantles that, and now we've got one in our inventory, but it stays right there, so we'll move it over a little bit. Now this goes back to when we first created the shower. We do need a drain, and we're going to put it right there and also there so that it doesn't flood into that room. We've got our laundry. Laundry requires laundry machine, laundry basket, and an ironing board. Type out the first few letters and you're good to go. Let's see where our power lines are. I think they're just straight down the middle, so it doesn't really matter where we put them in this case. Then the ironing board. From what I've seen, we only really need one as it is. Now the laundry does actually need both power and water. So in this situation, we'll just come over here and bring the water over and then down. So they've got their power, now we just need water. I don't know how the working position can't be reached for that. Just put it in the middle. And now the foreman is actually teaching them right now. And this is going to go through the entire session. So when it gets all the way over to the end of it, they're going to be able, it's going to either pass or fail them. You can also see the psychologist is hosting an AA meeting. That's going to take a little while, and then you've also got the kitchen safety and hygiene. You've got your one prisoner. He's almost done. Really hoping he finishes. We'll see if he passes or not. And we've got a naked guy down in the shower. And then pharmacological treatment of drug addiction. You've got 2 guys in there. Oh, and he didn't pass. Cahill, David Cahill, you are worthless. I'm glad you get out soon. I want you working in my kitchen anyway. So you can see in the common room as well that they're actually using these things. These guys are talking on the phone. They're talking to their family. And that's something that you're actually going to want to keep an eye on at some point, because if you come down to the intelligence, you'll see all these different sections. You've got your dangers, which show where they can get what, and it's last 24 hours, last 7 days, and now the informants. Well, this section will actually tell you if something is going to be thrown over and when it's been arranged. But in order to do that, you have to be able to get an informant to begin with. So this guy, ex-law enforcement, he's got 8 years, so he's going to be in here a while. Let's go ahead and send him to solitary. I'll show you why once he gets there, after he finishes dropping a dookie. Not sure why this isn't finishing. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna dismantle this and put it somewhere else when the time comes. Let's check on our status for the workshop. They're almost done. Hopefully at least 1 or 2 of them finish up. And the boxes will stay there until they manage to put it into storage. I don't know why, but a lot of the workers will actually just kind of stand around until they all have a big job. I'm just gonna put a whole bunch over here until one of them decides that they're gonna do what I told them to do. You can see that guy going in there and grabbing the table to put it into storage. Eventually one of these workers will decide that they need to install that. Oh, come on. Alright, so that guy's been in solitary for almost an hour. Now what we're going to do is to go into the intelligence and listen to my child scream. But when you go over to informants, you'll notice he now has a circle around him. You click onto him and you can see his bio, you can see his grading and his character and biography and whatnot, blah blah blah. However, you set him as you go over to experience and click recruit informant. Now he's up here on the list and he's only got 5% coverage and he's not very suspicious. They don't suspect him as being a snitch just yet. Big factor with that is that if you take a confidential informant or a snitch and you activate them too much and they spend too much time in the security office, then that bar is going to be going up and the prisoners will start to identify him as a snitch and they will kill him. Sometimes it's in the shower, sometimes it's in the canteen. They'll find a way and they'll do away with the snitch. We've got another OD. This is driving me nuts. I don't know why the workshop press isn't being installed. I've got tons of workers, but none of them want to do anything. Let's go ahead and We'll actually just dump this so we don't have an extra. Come back. I guess we'll put the table right there. So we're basically going to be waiting this out. Another thing to keep in mind is that your place is going to get pretty dirty. You can see the canteen and the shower are starting to suffer, and janitors will actually do a lot of good. So if you hire a whole bunch, then they work as a team and they go pretty crazy with it. And at some point it starts to look like they're an ice skating team. You can see them all just working away. They've got a lot to clean because I've only had the one guy for so long. Let's start to plan out finishing this. So I believe we should have enough room to be able to finish that up. Alright, so we've got that set up, and now let's actually just demolish this wall as we've done in the past. That guy will go and clear that out. And now we've got that section, so we can actually just clone this out, make sure it overlaps, and we're good to go. We don't have to worry about anything. Then we do the same thing with this side. Then just put a jail door right there, since it's for a cell block. You want to make sure that your prisoners are kept in their cell block when it's time to be kept in there. Prisoners tend to get pretty crafty with stuff. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and search the cell block once it's time for everybody to wake up and start eating. You guys know the drill with this part. And here comes everybody doing their job. This is a big reason, what you saw right there is a big reason for having a good number of guards, because people will get blocked up at jail doors, and if you don't have enough guards, they're not going to be able to do a whole lot. somebody was overdosing. Alright, we'll go ahead and start the cell block search. Put another handful of guards in there. Really, before we finish out this video, I'm mostly waiting on the workshop safety induction to see if anybody passes. Now our danger level is rising, so you can see one person likes the way that he's been treated. That's my guy. We've got 3 that are suppressed, so they're not doing anything with the meter, and then 11 people have serious complaints, and it doesn't ever tell you what those complaints are. I really wish it would, so that you could actually properly address it. And then being that I searched the cell block while everybody was in it, that means that the prisoners have been searched as well, and if they don't have contraband on them, then they've been unnecessarily searched. And that pisses them off, and that raises your danger meter, which therefore means that you're going to be closer and closer to a riot. So we've got 4 people in solitary, and we've got 5 waiting. If we were to expand this section, we can open that up, and that's something that I'm going to be doing here at some point soon. Damn press won't install. You know what, actually, I'm just gonna cancel it. Let's dump it, and then we'll buy a new one. Alright, so we're at 1 o'clock, and then work is at 3 to 4. Oh, and this gives us another opportunity to check and see if we can get any more informants. We can actually get 2, so we'll go ahead and grab these guys, and this is actually gonna... he's actually in the workshop safety class. He's got a pretty good success chance, so if he finishes... more importantly, if he gets out in time, he may be able to help us out and make us some money. Alright. See how many prisoners we're going to be getting in this next batch. 19. Can't handle 19. I can handle 15. See, that's actually very handy to have that there. That way they can just go straight down to this cell block without having to go all the way around. Oh, great. I wasn't watching, so somebody just booked it out the front door. That is exactly what I had been talking about throughout the entire thing. So I'm going to go ahead and make another walkabout. Now this one I'm going to have it be a lot more secure than just the visitors So I'm going to put a door right there and a door right there. So now they've actually got five doors that they have to go through in order to book it out of there like that. Now you can see that they finished out the work, and I think we've actually got 2 guys who finished. Actually 3 passed. Alright. Awesome. So these guys are getting right to work, and they're gonna start processing out those logs. We've got a prisoner due for release. 4 hours. Now if we go over to prison grading, this opens up once you've got 10 prisoners that have been released. So far 7 have been released, and unfortunately escapes don't count. No, that guy doesn't want to be my friend. The walkabouts really discourage them from getting out because there's going to be a lot of guards right here, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to get out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start tunneling pretty soon, actually. Now, just to finish everything up here, what you can do with the workshop, you can see the different logs, and soon enough they're gonna have these processed wood piles. If you go over to objects and then sell objects, you can actually click on all of these to sell them out, and it'll help you out a little bit if you sell the wood just as is, but it'll be worth a lot more money if you let them process them. So what you can do, and the reason I kept the forest on there is because these trees are just absolutely everywhere. If you come over and dismantle this whole section, you're gonna get a lot of wood in there, and that's a lot of wood for them to start processing. Now this video only covered a couple of things, and it did take a little while, so I apologize for that to a degree, but you can see where we're starting to go with everything. In the next video, I'm gonna try to focus a little bit more on riots and controlling riots, things of that nature. And I've actually got another map, another prison where I can get that to happen almost instantaneously. So the next one is going to be my prison entitled Wolves. I'll explain that as we go along, but in the meantime, greatly appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope this taught you a lot more about the game. And as always, have a good day and enjoy your prison.